Cool. All right, I'm going to kick things off and we will have lots of fun. All right, ready? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Meet the Resources. On behalf of Star Peninsula, I am Tim Ryan. I will be your MC, I guess, for lack of better terms, for today. Star Peninsula, for those that are not aware, we are the longest running pitch event series in Hampton Roads. This is year 14 for us. We have evolved along the way. We now have a series of micro pitch events where founders can pitch their idea to validate that. And our next micro pitch event will be held on September 23rd. And if you do not know how to pitch your event, then we have a Pitch Perfect where we'll teach you how to pitch your business. That will take place on September 10th. We will be sure to send those links out to everybody along with the recording for this. We're going to have a fun event today. This is we've done this for several years, but it's really fun to generally founders are always the ones that are pitching their business and their idea to judges. But we're going to flip the script. So we're going to have the different people that can provide resources to you, the founder. They are going to pitch you in terms of how they can help you succeed. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. But really, when you look at the fact that we have 13 folks that are here today that are going to share how they can help you, it's really incredible to see how many people are rooting for you and want to see you succeed. So we're going to take you on a little journey. We'll start with the very beginning portions of your business and then how you grow that business. And then we'll end in terms of how you can start looking for funding along the way. So we have put some thought into how we're going to structure this, but without further ado, we have a super tight schedule. All of the presenters today, they have been told that they only have a limited amount of time, 5 minutes to pitch their business. But kicking things off from the city of Williamsburg, we have Sarah Seward that is going to talk about what economic development is, what economic development isn't, and I will turn it over to you, Sarah. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Tim. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Seward, and I'm the Economic Development Specialist for the City of Williamsburg. I've worked in economic development for the past 5 years, and every day I have the opportunity to help businesses grow and succeed in our community. So, what exactly is economic development? The simplest answer is this. Economic development looks different in every community because every community has different strengths, challenges, and goals. While some communities focus on manufacturing or industrial recruitment or agriculture, our focus is different. For the city of Williamsburg, our approach reflects who we are. Although we're only about 9.2 square miles, Williamsburg is the home of the largest living history museum in the world, William and Mary, a thriving small business community, and millions of visitors every year. Our size and history make us unique, so our economic development strategy has to be unique as well. At its core, our office exists to help make Williamsburg a great place to live, work, do business, and visit. And we do that in a variety of ways, such as providing business support and technical assistance, or connecting entrepreneurs to resources and partners, conducting business retention surveys to identify problems and create solutions, and administering a suite of grants offered by our EDA that help our businesses invest in improvements, expand operations, and keep our city vibrant. But we can't accomplish that alone. One of the biggest misconceptions about economic development is that one office is responsible for making everything happen. But the reality is that successful economic development is built on partnerships. We work closely with internal city departments, the Greater Williamsburg Chamber of Commerce, Colonial Williamsburg, William and Mary, the Hampton Roads Small Business Development Center, James City County, York County, and many other community partners. Each organization brings its own expertise, and by working together, we can support business, solve challenges, and strengthen Williamsburg's economy. A big part of our role is connecting people and removing those barriers and making sure the right partners are available. Because Williamsburg is largely built out, we're not competing to recruit massive manufacturing facilities. Instead, our focus is supporting the industries that make Williamsburg thrive: hospitality, tourism, retail, restaurants, professional services, and of course, entrepreneurship. Even though our residential population is around 15,000, that number doesn't tell the whole story. Every year, millions of people choose to visit Williamsburg, and those visitors help support our local businesses, creating jobs and generating revenue that benefits our entire community. One of my favorite things about working in economic development is that no day is ever the same. One day I might be working directly with a business owner, another day coordinating with a community partner, organizing a business event, supporting a new initiative, or connecting someone with the resources they need to succeed. And at the end of the day, that's really what economic development is about. It's about creating opportunities for entrepreneurs to invest in their dreams, for businesses to grow, and for communities to continue thriving. Thank you, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help answer.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Yes, if anyone has questions, you can throw it in the chat and I can help facilitate that. And if we have moved on to a different presenter, the panelists, they also can monitor the chat and they'll be able to answer those questions that you may have. So I guess one question that I would have, Sarah, is Start Peninsula is one way that the city of Williamsburg and all the localities on the peninsula, that's how they support entrepreneurship by and large. So you're not necessarily like, you have some grants and other localities have different grants, but you're not necessarily the place where businesses can find seed funding to get their business started. You all invest in Start Peninsula so that you can help validate that way. Is that accurate in saying that?
Yes, it is. I wish we could be a bank at sometimes, but unfortunately we are not. One thing that I love to do is when we have new businesses come or someone's looking to start or grow a business, I always recommend people go to Start Peninsula and to participate in those micro pitches and share the schedule so that people can again have the opportunity to go for some funding there.
Awesome. And I guess if anyone is interested or curious about what different grants different localities have, you can check out each respective locality's economic development website. And pretty much 100% of the time, there's a section on grants in terms of what is being offered. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to throw that in to chat, and Sarah will be able to answer that for you. But Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you for your support and helping us kick off today's event.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we are now going to transition over to when is the time to patent your idea? And this is something that we talk about quite a bit because some people, they may choose to do it too early. Other people may choose to do it too late. But to help us get some clarity on that, we have Mike Loving, who's going to talk to us from Patent Portfolio Builders. So, Mike, I will turn the floor over to you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for having me. Hi to everyone out there. Just want to let everybody know that you are in the right place. If you're a startup and you're needing help, Tim, Zach, and all these panelists here are amazing, and you're in the right place to get the help that you need. And congratulations on what you've accomplished so far in your journey ahead. Speaking about intellectual property and patents, I know everybody always wants to protect their idea and figure out how to share their idea at the same time. And I know that a lot of you are getting out there and speaking to people, pitch competitions, hopefully meeting with investors, and just want to talk about your idea. And what you want to do is to make sure that you're protected in that. So I want to talk about public disclosure because that is the number one thing against IP and eroding those rights. If you have a public disclosure, you have a year after that first disclosure to file a patent or you'll lose those rights. So what you want to make sure is whether you're working on your invention or your idea that um, you start figuring out what is mission critical, what problem that you're solving, and you can safeguard those things by not including those in your pitch competitions and your decks and when you're talking to people. But also you can file what's called a provisional patent, and that is um, less expensive than a full utility patent, and it buys you a 1 year grace period in order to then follow your utility patent. So that will help protect you when you're going into a pitch competition or speaking with investors to file a provisional against those mission critical things. Um, Also, you might want to think about trademarks. You're creating your brand and you're doing this, and the last thing you want to do is have someone send you a cease and desist letter saying that you're infringing on their logo or brand. So keep in mind when you're creating your marketing materials and your trademark stuff that you do a trademark search or have a professional do that. Lastly, what can IP do for you? IP can help create a barrier for entry against your competitors. It can also convince customers to buy from you because only you can provide those features or services. It can help with your marketing efforts. You always see patent pending all the time, and what's that? So when you file a provisional patent, you can say your patent pending for a year, and that can just put your competitors on notice to say, hey, okay, they're thinking about their IP. You also have litigation damages. If you have a grant patent and someone infringes on you, you can go after damages for that. And also you can sell or license your IP. And finally, IP can help you hedge against your primary business failure. So we all know timing is everything in this world, and we've seen a lot of people have great ideas, but the timing wasn't right. Maybe the market wasn't ready for it at that point. But you know what? 2, 3 years from now, it is. And now you have the IP, you have the patent that is ready to go with that market at that time. And now you can sell and license your IP at that moment. So there's a lot of things to think about. And I always like to tell people it's better to have that discussion early than late. So please contact an IP professional when you're early on in your journey to make sure you're safeguarding things you need to safeguard in the ways you can protect it. While you might not need to file a full utility now, you can do things. There's mechanisms to protect you, whether that is just keeping it close to the vest and not public disclosing the secret sauce. It could be just following that provisional to buy you that 1 year's time. But I would say when you solve a mission critical problem, that is a time to reach out to a patent attorney just to have a consultation to see what your options are. But just be aware of that public disclosure. And finally, the last thing that I want to say is if you're working with the group inside a startup, you got 3 or 4 founders and everything's going great, and you guys are coming up with things. When you go to file your IP, file it under the company name, not the individuals of the company, because we've seen it before. And the last thing you want is to have an individual venture be named and everything was great 6 months ago, but now there's problems within the startup and they leave. Well, they get to take the rights of what they invented with them. But if you file it under the business, the patent under the business, then it stays with that entity and you don't have to worry about those things. So that's pretty much it in 5 minutes to pack into that.
Well, we do have a question from one of the listeners and viewers is,
Sure.
do you all litigate patent infringement claims?
We do not. We are not. That's the one thing we do not do. Our firm, actually, that's a great question. We do not litigate ourselves. We have Steve, our managing partner, has affiliates and partners in DC and things. He's worked with in the past who are a much bigger law firm that handle litigious matters like that in front of the court system. But ourselves, we do not. But if you need to have a recommendation for someone that does, we'd be happy to do that. Our firm is we mainly do the filing and protecting trademarks and provisional patents and licensing and sales. The only thing we really don't do is litigation. That's usually for the big, huge firms in DC throughout the country.
How does someone make that public disclosure?
Great question. And I would my the easiest answer is it's almost just about anything. I mean, just think of any type of what the word is public disclosure, anything from a pitch competition, anything from a white page that you print and put out, anything that talks or a conversation that you have at a event or a conversation you have in the public. You could be a guest speaker somewhere. You could just be a panelist. It could really be just about anything. And a lot of times we'll go back and we'll find someone wrote a paper and submitted it that maybe was only read by 2 people in the whole world, but since it was submitted and it was out in the public domain, it is. So really, that's why when you're focused on what you're creating and you come to that eureka moment and you figure out this is how we solve this problem. This is why it's important to be mindful while you're going through that process to document everything that you're doing. What was mission critical? What was that moment that happened? And then keep that safeguarded. Don't put that out there in a pitch competition. Don't talk to anybody. Then talk to an IP professional and figure out what within that can be patented and what your options are, and then figure out then how to safeguard and leave that out. Because when you're talking to somebody in a pitch competition, you can speak roundaboutly about what you're doing or what your end results are, but make sure you save those key details that you want to put in a patent. Leave those out.
And next question is, when is the best time to trademark a framework for coaches and instructors, especially when seeking grants and external funding?
To
So,
trademark a
Mike,
framework, um, trademark is usually for just, the logos and sayings of a company. If by framework, I'm not sure what they mean by that. If that may be more of a copyright situation, just trying to better understand. Um, that may be a question more on the business lawyer type side,
gotcha.
if it's dealing with contracts.
Awesome. Well, if there's any other questions from the audience, feel free to throw that in the Q&A, and we'll make sure that we get that answer. But Mike, I can't thank you enough for all the support that you provided our entrepreneurial community. You and the team are a founders first, startup friendly company. I can't thank you enough for all the help that you provided everyone.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you as always.
Awesome. Next up, we have the Hampton Roads Small Business Development Center. We have Donna Norman, who's going to talk to us. So, like, after you participate in something like Start Peninsula and you're not really sure where to go, there is a bunch of different services that the SBDC can provide, and Donna is going to share us about what some of those services are. So, Donna, the floor is yours.
All right. Is it all right if I share my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, we are the Hampton Roads Small Business Development Center. We'd like to consider ourselves to be your partner in starting, growing, and scaling your business. We do that through no cost, confidential advising with entrepreneurs across Hampton Roads. We are a proud member of the Virginia SBDC network. And just so that you understand the area that we cover from all of the 7 cities. We go all the way up to the historic Triangle area. We go out to the Eastern Shore. We cover Poquoson, Gloucester, and then out to Franklin, Southampton County, Smithfield, and Suffolk area. How we help businesses at every stage. Of course, we do see a lot of businesses who are seeking to start their business, and we support with business planning, licensing requirements, and anything that you need to be market ready. We spend a considerable amount of time helping businesses grow and scale and to access capital. So these are those business owners that may have been in business for 2 or more years, and they really want to go back and after you got your hustle on, you want to go back and actually get things right and in order with your structure or your books, or you're getting ready to hire. We work directly with you all, and we bring our team to bear to assist you in that. And in addition to that one-on-one support, we do provide training to entrepreneurs across the region. Just to share a couple of our success stories. We have 2 success stories that we shared this year with Road Stripping Services. We've been working with them for over a year and a half. Again, just helping them to get their organization in order, making some transitions in leadership, and then eventually accessing capital through a bank loan. Our second success story, DNS Wellness Spa in Williamsburg, Virginia. Our founder, Diana, was ready to move into her first space. She wanted to purchase a space. And so we assisted her in securing a $480,000 SBA 504 loan. So those are a couple of our success stories just overall. We have advised over 2,500 businesses over the last 5 years. We've had supported and training over 5,000 business owners. You can see here, new business starts, and then over 92 million in capital investment. Just so you know who our team is, our executive director, Jolie Spears, she is our leader and biggest cheerleader. Myself, Donna Norman, I serve as the assistant director, and I primarily support businesses on the peninsula and in the historic triangle area. Our financial subject matter expert is Bill Holloran. Todd Durose is our marketing subject matter expert, and we just newly opened an office in Portsmouth at the Bloom co-working space. And our advisor over there is Amber Costa. And last year, we brought on a business advisor specifically for bookkeeping, Chelsea Torres, and that is primarily what she does. And just to cover some of our signature programs in the area, we have our Business Foundations online webinar programs that are offered in rotation that helps you understand what you need to know in terms of money, marketing, and managing your business. We run a military business network, a home-based business network, offer ongoing bookkeeping workshops, and then we have institutes in the area of contracting and access to capital. And just so you're aware, we do have access to an expanded network, which includes the Virginia SBDC programming. I know you'll hear more about our ICAP programming, capital, craft beverage, international trade, and then capital pathways. And then finally, just to kind of close out, we are funded in part by through the SBA. And then in addition to that, our funding comes from our local network partners, all of the localities across the Hampton Roads region. And that allows us to provide our services, again, to you at no cost. And then if you're looking for us and you're ready to start, grow, or scale your business, you can reach us online at hrsbdc.org. We're on the peninsula at 600 Butler Farm, on the south side in Norfolk, our new office in Portsmouth, and then we hold office hours at the William and Mary Entrepreneurship Hub and in Isle of Wight County. And thank you. And what questions do you have?
Well, I would like to start by complimenting our first three people that have gone so far. You're sticking to the timeline, and that is great. And I also would like to recognize Bill Holloran. He is that is one person who knows numbers probably better than anyone that I know and that Zach knows. We talk about that. Just really knows his numbers well. So can't say enough good things about Bill. But in terms of what does the typical process look like when someone goes to the website? How does that customer journey look? Are they just able to? Can they pick a person by name? How do they schedule the appointment? How does that work?
Yeah, so when you register on our website, we do require everyone to register within our network. We do have reporting requirements for the SBA, so we report out our numbers in aggregate. And the second thing that registration provides for you is confidentiality, so that you know that when you're speaking with us, we're not talking about your business to anyone else without your express permission. So that's one of the two main reasons that we ask that you register with us. Once you register, you will receive an email and contact to set up an initial session. In that initial session, that is where we want to learn about you as an entrepreneur, what stage you're at in your business. And then from there, we decide who's the best advisor for you to be assigned to. But even in that assignment, Tim, even if you're assigned to me as your advisor, you still have access to the whole network. So as you were talking about, Bill, if those numbers get beyond my capacity, I will have you or sit down in a meeting with you and Bill, with the business owner and Bill, and help to make sure that you get that support. Likewise with Todd, from a marketing aspect, or if you need to get your financial projections in order, I might send you over to Chelsea. So you'll always have an advisor who's helping to kind of orchestrate and facilitate your time with the SBDC, but know that you have access to all of our expertise.
Awesome. Do you have grant writing resources?
We don't have anyone directly on site, but we do have access to the full Virginia SBDC network. And then we also partner with local business owners, a Rolodex of business owners in the area who have specialty in those in grant writing or other areas. And so if we don't have the expertise, we do have referral partners that we would send you to.
And another last question is, do you know what percentage of the funds invested are grants versus loans secured with your help?
I don't have the answer to that question.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Can you quickly put the locations back up on your screen?
I sure can. So yeah, again, we're in Hampton, Norfolk, and Portsmouth. And then I'm in Williamsburg on Wednesdays, and then Todd is in Isle of Wight once a month on Tuesdays. And then as needed, based on the localities, we will hold office hours in any locality. So we may, spend a day on the shore just meeting with business owners over there.
Awesome. Well, Donna, thank you so much. We appreciate your support and taking the time to share with us about the SBDC today.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And next up, one of the things that when you have a business, one of the things that you need to have is customers. And it may be difficult to try to identify who those customers are. And with that, that is why we are going to hear from the Virginia ICAP program with Dan Myers. And I'm going to turn this over to Dan so he can share about how we can identify who our customers are and should be. Dan.
Great. Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here and talk with everybody. So ICAP is a division of SBDC, which Donna just spoke about. But ICAP is a statewide program. And so we offer a no-cost resource to anyone, any tech company across the entire state. We offer expert mentorship from mentors who have built, sold, exited, taken a company IPO, and nearly all of my mentors have at least been an angel investor, if not been part of a venture capital firm themselves. We cover every bit of technology that you can think of, from aerospace, biotech, enterprise SaaS, cyber, energy. If it's built in Virginia, we have knowledge in it, we can help you. So the other piece to walk away knowing about ICAP, we aim to be the most tactical, impactful mentorship relationship that you can have. This is not about being, a inspirational coach. This is how do you take action? You should leave every meeting knowing, great, I know what I can do next to make an impact on my business. We heavily overemphasize on the importance of deeply understanding the problem that you're interested in and what's the market demand for that customer discovery aspect. But again, tactically, how do you go about that? Who are you trying to reach? What are the best ways to reach them? How do you interview that person? How do you ask questions? What assumptions might have you made? Let's figure out how do we test that, and ultimately understand also if you're bringing in any of your own bias into that as well. We offer a few different ways to engage. So we offer a virtual course specifically around this customer discovery aspect. We offer that virtual course 5 times a year. So it's essentially rolling admission and application review for that. We also provide support in helping founders understand the process and just, again, tactically, how do you go about raising funding? So not just pitch prep, but we also have a couple of programs where we invite angel investors and VC investors from outside of Virginia, as well as some from inside, but particularly trying to attract those outside to give constructive feedback on your pitch and on your company. One-on-one mentorship is the mainstay of everything that we do, and that covers really any problem that you have. But I think right now where we see there's a VIPC grant for companies, a 50K grant that's available. We will walk through your application answers with you ahead of you applying and hitting submit on that. Similarly, we're very skilled and adept at helping founders apply for and receive NSF funding, NIH funding, SBIR, STTR grants. Additionally, other problems that founders work on might be like, hey, how do I negotiate this six-figure deal with a publicly traded company? We have done that work. Or even like, hey, how do I run a board member now that I have investors and board members on my team? Let's talk numbers really quick. So I manage a portfolio of about 3,000 startups across the entire state. Like I said, if it's built in Virginia, we probably are knowledgeable on it. We're nearing about 300 million in capital raised by those companies and about 1,500 jobs created. We only report numbers that founders directly attribute, like, hey, ICAP made an impact in me getting this money or hiring this person. To find out more about ICAP, the easiest way to probably engage, Google Virginia ICAP, you'll find our website. There's a button on there to submit an application for support. It's probably the easiest way to engage. Additionally, because you all are here, I'm happy to provide my email. My email is dmyers, D-M-Y-E-R-S, the number's 23 at gmu.edu. We are administered through George Mason, so that's why the George Mason email address. Happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, and so for those that are listening and will watch the recording when we send that out, one of the things that with Star Peninsula, we ensure that people that participate are connected with ICAP as well as everyone else that you're going to hear from today. But ICAP has been a great partnership. We want to make sure that people get plugged in as quickly as possible. Is ICAP strictly for tech-based businesses? What if they're not tech-based? What does that process look like?
Yeah, great question. So I would define ourselves as product-focused companies that ideally are tech or tech-enabled. The tech-enabled can start to be gray. The easiest way to differentiate that is if you are a service-based company, if you're strictly providing a service, right? Like if you're a plumber, not the right fit for us, I would probably direct you towards Donna at the SBDC. Also, if you are CPG, that can really get a little tricky for us. So we really look at product scalable companies. That's what we're looking for.
Do you have any insight or know about the medical product development? Is that one of the tracks within ICAP?
Yeah. So again, so products, and this is why I say like product tech focused can be challenged. So right, like there's a lot of biotech and bioscience being built in the state as well as medical hardware. We support those as those are product companies. You might not traditionally think of pharma as technology, but we do look at that as, hey, there's technology innovation being built here. So yes, if you are in biotech, bioscience, not just someone who's writing code, right? If you are building a technically innovative product, we will support you. I should also add, because of the resources that are in your region, we also do a tremendous amount of support in helping startups that might be built off of university-owned IP. So if there are any professors or grad students who might be seeing this, we can help you spin out that company from the university and really help you launch that company as well.
Awesome. Just to be on the medical product, any idea what the footprint is in Hampton Roads by chance?
I don't. We do see companies coming from all over Virginia. It's really surprising. I couldn't give you necessarily like the percentage breakdown, I can think of a handful off the top of my head. I think the other aspect that I would add to this is because we are a statewide program, we're heavily connected to the resources that are available across different regions. And so, specifically around, if we're talking bioscience, biotech, Charlottesville um, has a tremendous amount of resources, as well as the Roanoke region. But a founder in Hampton Roads, Norfolk, Newport News area might not be aware of those, and we can help get connected to, hey, did you know that there's lab space available? Did you know that there's testing facilities that you might want to be able to tap into? As well as, hey, if you're looking for talent, we might be able to connect you with folks as well. So
Awesome. Any space-oriented tech initiatives within NASA and Wallops? Are you aware of any?
uh, yes. So I imagine that Tim and some other folks are also connected with NASA. We have a direct connection with NASA as well. So if your technology is, you think, relevant to either usually their RFPs kind of come out very quick, but if you feel like there is a direct connect between your technology and NASA, we can help you with that connection.
Awesome. Well, Dan, I appreciate you taking the time to share about ICAP with us. I've always received positive feedback with everyone that has gone through the program. So appreciate what you're doing and how you're
Absolutely.
helping
And
founders.
behalf of just what I see, like, thank you for putting this together for everyone in your region, but also everyone in the state too.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right. Now that we have some customers, we're rocking and rolling there. Now we're looking at what are some spaces available that you can so that you don't have to work alone in a closet somewhere or in your garage. And we're going to turn that with the first place, which would be the William and Mary Entrepreneurship Hub. And Brandon Hennessy is going to share with us a little bit about that. So, Brandon, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Tim, thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity to be here and be amongst my peers of entrepreneurial support organizations. And to share a little bit about the hub and how we support entrepreneurs. So as Tim mentioned, I'm director of the Entrepreneurship Hub, Brandon, and we serve William and Mary students, faculty, staff, alumni, as well as the broader regional entrepreneurs in the historic triangle and across Hampton Roads, really. And for those regional founders in particular, we try to be a place where ideas, challenges, and opportunities can turn into action. And so you might be shaping something pretty new. You may be growing or expanding an existing business, or maybe you're working through a decision that's kind of like holding you back. And you need to come up with knowing what's the next step. And so we have a suite of programs, resources, and events. I think we've got like 36 different offerings, but the thing is, you don't need to know what those are. You can just start by telling us what you're building and what you're trying to accomplish, and we can support you from there. Most founders and ventures and nonprofits are not looking for more information. They're looking to like something very specific that they need help with. And that could be pricing, it could be customer demand, it could be their marketing, hiring. And honestly, they're just trying to figure out what might even deserve attention in the first place. The founders that we work with span a wide range of industries and business models. So health tech, business services professional, consumer packaged goods, fintech, edtech, creative businesses, pretty much anything under the entrepreneurial umbrella. Today, Launchpad supports more than 30 active ventures across the historic triangle. And so founders are already going to be entering a community of people who are actively trying to build, test, and grow. And what any of these businesses share is not like a common public sector stage or anything like that. It's that they're all trying to make a decision and add capacity to their team and move something forward. And so our role is really to help them get clearer attribution on what comes next and how we can connect them with the right support. And there's two ways that we do that. The first way is for regional ventures and nonprofits to engage with us through something called the Venture Acceleration Program, which is cohort based. It's a 4-week cohort where founders meet with a peer group and get focused feedback around their customers, their business model, their marketing, and storytelling. And then with that, across the past 4 cohorts, we've awarded almost $25,000 to those participating ventures at completion of the program. Our next cohort is October 6th, and applications are open and rolling. So if you're interested in that, I'll have a slide to put up here at the end. And then Launchpad is a little bit more flexible. That's ongoing founder-directed support. You can use the space, which is 7,000 square feet here at William and Mary. You can meet with our mentors, connect with students, join and tap into programs a la carte, depending on your needs. And so some founders want the sprint, and some founders want a home base, and we offer both. One founder that I want to highlight is NGZ AI founder Mike McMahon, and he's a good example of what the flexibility of our programming can generate. He's building a super ambitious healthcare technology venture, and he needed more capacity to serve across the business. So through the hub and through Launchpad, he hired 5 William and Mary interns across AI, agent deployment, marketing, business strategy, financial modeling of the company, as well as doing some business and grant development. And then later, as Tim well knows, he became one of the Virginia Cup finalists last year, and he also secured $50,000 in the VIPC launch grant. And so even if that doesn't quite sound like you, not every founder has that same path. But we want to be the people that can place connections at the right time, because timing is everything, and that could be the thing that materially changes what a venture is able to do. And so if that's not you, if that technology healthcare venture isn't you, that's okay. My ask would be to just tell us what you're building, where you're stuck, and what you're trying to accomplish next, and we'll help you take it from there to figure out what the sensible next steps could be. No pitch necessary, no pressure to join if you don't think it's advantageous for you. Just a conversation. So thank you for the opportunity, and I'll open it up to questions. And I'm actually going to put this slide on so that if anyone is interested in having a conversation, they can snag this QR code on the screen. Thanks, Tim.
Absolutely. And I want to make sure that everyone is aware that this is not strictly for William and Mary students. If you're not a student, you can participate in the Launchpad. Anything you want to add to that, Brandon?
Yeah, I appreciate you continuing to knock down the perception of this being just for William and Mary students and faculty and staff. It's not. We have an amazing partnership with 3 localities, James City County, City of Williamsburg, and York County, to provide access to our entire portfolio and space to regional entrepreneurs. So if you're a regional entrepreneur out there in those counties or beyond in Hampton Roads, we want to hear from you. We want to be able to figure out how to help you. And if we can't be a good fit, we'll connect you to folks like Dan and Donna and Mike and Tim, and we'll figure out how to help you.
And again, probably a reoccurring theme that we're going to hear today, but anyone that wants to participate within with Start Peninsula that is located within Greater Williamsburg, we're automatically connecting you with Brandon to see what kind of fit is there so that they can provide assistance.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Tim. Appreciate the partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really appreciate everything that you all have going on. It is a cool space for anyone it's a very cool space for anyone that has not seen it. What's the best way if someone wants to make a visit? Does it matter just contacting you, and then you can hook up all the logistics for them to check it out?
Yeah, I would be totally fine with being the point of contact for that. This QR code on the screen is kind of like an interest form. It's kind of the first layer for us. So if you fill that out, then we know a little bit more about who you are and what you're trying to move the needle on. So that's another path. We're very, very much there is no silver bullet approach. So if you're the type of person who wants to look at this slide and give me a call or shoot me an email, that's cool too.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, thanks for everything that you are doing. It's a total team effort, and glad to have you as part of the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Cool. Well, we're going to go from the hub to the Hive. And Star Peninsula one is one of those things. You hear Peninsula, 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 but as long as you're located within the 757 area code, you're able to participate in Star Peninsula. And we do have many people that participate on the other side of the water and within Virginia Beach. So that is why we extended the invite to have Jerry Mathis talk to us about Virginia Beach and the Hive and what all the cool things that are happening there. So, Jerry, the floor is yours to share with us a little bit about the Hive.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited to be here and have some fun. My name is Jerry Mathis. I'm the Hive Senior Business Development Representative for the city of Virginia Beach. I work directly with the Hive, Virginia Beach's Entrepreneurial Innovation and Business Engagement Center. And we support founders, small business owners, startups, creators, and anyone looking to start, grow, or scale their business here in Virginia Beach. We're looked at as a regional resource, so we don't turn anyone away no matter where you are. We can provide support and help you, but of course, if you're in Virginia Beach, we love that. What we do, the Hive is a no-cost business resource center. So you don't have to pay anything to be able to access the resources and services here, designed to help entrepreneurs at every stage. Some of the things that we provide are one-on-one business support and counseling, guidance on navigating city resources, permits and processes, connections to mentors, ecosystem partners. Some of the other partners that we heard here today partner with us here at the Hive, which is awesome. And also funding opportunities and also just helping you prepare your financial statements. We're running a workshop next week on financial storytelling. So looking at all your financial documents before going to a lender for a business loan or what have you. We can help with that. Business workshops, training, and entrepreneurial events. We have some events that we're sponsoring and working with Innovate Hampton Roads with this year, Tech Night, Startup World Cup. So super excited about those. We host a lot of events here at the Hive as well that you can attend. Co-working space for Thrive at the Hive. We actually have space in the back of our office here that we allow businesses that are Virginia Beach-based businesses, or if you're affiliated with any military affiliation, whether you're a veteran or spouse, you're able to access the space as well too. Meeting rooms, collaboration areas, a community environment where entrepreneurs can launch, grow, and thrive. So super excited to be able to offer that. Entrepreneurs drive innovation and job creation and local economic growth. The Hive exists to make the startup journey more accessible, less confusing, and better connected. Whether you're validating an idea, developing a business plan, preparing for an investment, or scaling your operations, we can help guide you through the process and connect you to the right resources at the right time. So where we're located, we are in Town Center in Virginia Beach. The Hive, it's 140 Independence Boulevard. You can visit us here in person, or we do a lot of things virtual as well too. So you can join in on our workshops that way. Also for consulting, if you can't be here in person, we can meet with you virtually as well. So there's tons of options to be able to connect either way. How we support entrepreneurs, different ways. Again, one-on-one business support, receiving help with business planning, market research, and strategy. So it doesn't matter what stage of business you're at. Again, you can be in the ideation phase and need help thinking through your process and your ideas to more growth and established. And so either way, we're able to help you. Accessing city programs and incentives for startups and small businesses, that can be confusing a lot of times. So we're here to help you navigate that process. We do a lot of procurement workshops, government contracting workshops here at the Hive. We have Apex Accelerator, who's coming next week as well too. They're doing a 2 or 3 day event with different workshops, 3 different workshops here at the Hive to help with when it comes to government contracting opportunities. We also have a state representative from the Small Business Supplier Diversity department here with the state, Angela Barber, who's a great resource that helps businesses get SWAM certified. If you are a minority business, veteran business, woman-owned business, we're able to help you in that certification process here at the Hive as well. And last few things is that if you want to get connected with us, the website is the best place, yesvirginiabeach.com. And if you go there, you're able to access the Hive. You can email us, you can call us. We're always available. We're usually here 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. We're open Monday through Thursday. We have a partnership with Baden University, and we have classes that run in the evening time as well too. And so we're usually done by 5 o'clock on Fridays. And so if you ever want to come by and chat with us, we're available. But definitely, make an appointment with us, check out the website. And then we're on social media as well. So if you have LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, we're very active on those platforms. You can find out a lot about what we have going on through there. And then we also have a newsletter. So there's no excuse to not be connected with the Hive and what we have going on. You can get added to the newsletter from the website as well. So visit the website, attend an event. We do a lot of our events through Eventbrite. So if you have access to Eventbrite, you can register for any of our upcoming workshops through there as well. So yeah, that's all I have for you.
Yeah, well, if anyone wants to check out the Hive, I cannot think of a better time to do that than the pre-party that is going to be held at the Hive before the Virginia Cup on September 17th. So all the folks coming down to that event to go to the Virginia Cup, one of the ways that we take traffic out of that equation is we're hosting a pre-party at the Hive, and that's going to be a great time. From past years, it will be shoulder to shoulder people. So we're looking forward to doing that event with you there, Jerry. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're excited to host the event, the pre-party. It's going to be a great time. You get to check out the Hive. If you've never been here, it's a great time to come by and see all that we have to offer and just be amongst other entrepreneurs and those in the ecosystem and the community.
There's one question that popped in, and just curious what your take is. Maybe you can provide some insight. But if a hair care company wanted to break into the hotel amenities market, who would they need to speak to help navigate getting into that hotel partnership? Any insight with that? You all have a lot of hotels down there at the oceanfront.
Yeah, I mean, definitely come to the Hive, and the best way is to put in an inquiry form. If you go to the Yes Virginia Beach website, you can actually type in that exact question, and then we would pair you with a mentor that can help kind of walk you through that process, and going through the ins and outs of how to connect with the hotel. So it's a great question, and we definitely can help you with that.
Awesome. Anything else you want to before we transition?
No, I'm looking forward to the Tech Night and the Virginia Startup World Cup. And so excited to see everyone at those events.
Awesome. Well, Jerry, thank you so much for your time and all the support that you provide to entrepreneurs around the region and within Virginia Beach.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, now we're gonna go back across the water to the peninsula and within the city of Hampton. And so we've heard about tech, we've heard about what's happening on Virginia Beach, but what if you have a retail business and if you're looking for a place to grow that? Well, there's a new place that Lavanya Jones is going to talk about within the city of Hampton. I know she's been working super hard to get that off of the ground, but Lavanya, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can talk about the retail business incubator within the city of Hampton.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Good. It's still morning. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. I'm Lavanya Jones, the Senior Manager for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Small Business with the City of Hampton, Virginia. And we are the small business area in the Economic Development Department. And our role is to strengthen Hampton's economy by attracting strategic investment, supporting business and job growth, and fostering innovation and driving redevelopment that expands opportunities for residents, businesses, and partners. And we are extremely excited to be a partner with Start Peninsula. And thank you so much, Tim, for having me today. So I want to talk a little bit about what we offer and lead that into the retail incubator. In our particular area, in the Economic Development Office, for Hampton, with Hampton Business, what we do, we offer free one-on-one business advising, working a lot with our partners. We offer weekly business training workshops, and right now for quarter 3, we are focusing on finance and capital readiness. As Sarah mentioned earlier with what Williamsburg does, we do also offer grant incentive programs. Our business and retention and expansion area can provide site and property information if you're looking to find a location in the city of Hampton. We also have a focus for our city on SWAM business support pathways. That is the state small women and minority owned business certification. And with all the partners that are on the call, we work across the ecosystem, connecting them to regional, state, and also national business support resources. So our retail incubator is called Spark Shops Retail Incubator, and Spark stands for Support, Propel, Accelerate Retail Kickstarts. And as Tim stated, this is the new initiative for the city with the goal of providing home-based businesses specifically a pathway to sustain a brick and mortar operation. So this retail incubator will provide affordable space in the Peninsula Town Center Shopping Plaza, targeted mentorship, and a supportive ecosystem. It is a 12-month lease program with the option to renew in the Peninsula Town Center Shopping Plaza. And after the first 12-month cohort, which will also provide you with training and mentoring, you can receive 2 years of ongoing support after completing the initial cohort. In the retail incubator, the curriculum will look like, of course, we'll have an orientation, just really going over all the requirements of the program and even some of the restrictions and rules as far as being a part of the Peninsula Town Center Shopping Plaza. We'll talk about the retail industry and product cycle, customer service and sales specifically related to the retail industry, business operations and leadership, where we'll look at your business model, and things of that nature related to retail. How do you lead a team in the retail market? Branding and marketing specifically for retail business, especially understanding who your customer is and targeting those customers in your language and branding and marketing. We'll talk about finance and access to capital for retail businesses. As someone mentioned CPG earlier, consumer product goods. Financing and access to capital is very different for the retail industry, so we will be focusing on that. And finally, resource and supplier management, because you have to manage your inventory well when you're dealing with a retail business. We'll also, over the 12 months, provide quarterly retail solutions labs where we'll have different partners come in and discuss how they support retail business, such as the Retail Alliance Organization, as well as we're looking to have quarterly retail incubator market events in Peninsula Town Center to help drive business to the space. So we have 3 spaces in Peninsula Town Center. We're currently opening 1 space that should be opening in the next couple weeks, Tim. We're almost there. Almost there. And then we'll have the other 2 kind of opening up on a staggered basis. But we can accept between up to 18 businesses total. We can fit 6 businesses comfortably in each space. So we are continuously accepting applications on a rolling basis. So if you are interested or someone you know is interested, again, it is for home-based businesses to help them transition to their own brick and mortar location. So it's not necessarily for someone who already has a brick and mortar location, but if you do, you can still call us and we can connect you with someone that can help you find additional space in Hampton if that's what you're looking for. But you can scan this QR code. It'll take you right to the interest application. And the way our process is working is you fill out the interest application. We'll then contact you for a virtual interview. Upon that interview, if we still feel like you're a good fit, we'll schedule some time to show you the space. And then we have, of course, a sub-license and a confirmation form that you would have to fill out in order to confirm your participation in the program. And so, again, if you want more information, myself, Senior Manager for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Small Business, I also have my small business specialist, Ray Ransom, who you can contact. This is our contact information. We have our calendar links there. You can schedule time with us anytime to talk about anything related to your business. I tell people if there is time on that calendar, I am available. And when you book it, I will be there. And we also encourage you for more information about the businesses that will be in the retail incubator, about some of the things we'll be doing through the department and the retail incubator. Please follow us on our social media on Facebook and LinkedIn. You can look up Hampton Economic Development and you will find us, and you can stay up to date on all we have going on in the department as well as with the retail incubator. So I will put the QR code back up if you all would like more information or if you would like to apply. Thank you, Tim.
Absolutely. I know that this is super new, which is exciting. And I know it's been a ton of work for you. Has anything, any particular verticals within the retail space started to surface in terms of what are the most common applications that you've received so far that are applying?
Yes, a lot of candles, which is interesting because the first space that we're opening used to be a former Yankee Candle. So lots of candles. We also have seen a lot of like gift customized artistic gifts, wearable jewelry, things of that nature. But one vertical that has popped up that is actually the top retail market in the state of Virginia that unfortunately we cannot support are pet supplies. So
Mm.
I've had several pet businesses apply, and pet supplies are the number one retail market in the state of Virginia. But unfortunately, because there are already some pet retailers in Peninsula Town Center, we cannot do pets. But those are the main verticals that have really popped up as far as applications.
That's really interesting.
Hmm People love their pets.
Gosh, part of me is just curious. What is the most popular scented candle? You would not know the
No, I
answers
have
to
no idea
that,
what
but
that is. But yeah, we've had like most of the businesses that have applied have been either candles or just like gifts. People like we had one company apply that they draw their own anime art that they put on shirts and bags, and they do all the Comic-Con conferences. So different things like that.
well, it's really one of the things there's so many things that's cool about hearing all of these different presenters. Is just that every flavor of entrepreneur has a home, and this fulfills one of those needed homes for on the retail side. So that's super cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So yes, please share the application. I mean, you don't have to be a Hampton business to apply. We're accepting businesses from all over the Hampton Roads region. It's just if you would like a location in the city of Hampton, this is where, we could start you if you have a retail business that is home based and fits the market. So please apply and spread the word. Thank you.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you, Lavanya. I know this has been a lot of work to get this off the ground, so appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. I'm glad we're almost
Congratulations.
there. I will be really glad when it's open.
All right. Well, now that we're within the city of Hampton, we are going to stay within the city of Hampton. And this is more on the tech side, but also we're going to hear about Reactor, which is kind of an incubator, kind of an accelerator, but all that to say, we're going to be shifting towards the acceleration side. And here today to talk to us about Reactor, where we have Josiah Coles, who is the newest member of the Innovate Hampton Roads team, and we're throwing him into the fire so that he can share with us about what Reactor is and how I say we because I'm also part of the Reactor team, how we can support the Reactor portfolio companies. But Josiah, the floor is yours. Let's
you.
chat about Reactor.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I'm trying to share my screen, but my computer will not let me for a security thing that I've been trying to figure out. So I'm still going to tell y'all and run through the slides. So Reactor is located in the city of Hampton. It is in the NIA building. So when you think of companies like Harley Davidson, Amazon, Apple, and then Microsoft and Disney, what are they? They're all like unicorns. They're all household names. But what is one thing they have in common is that they all started in a garage. But when you start in a garage, the biggest thing that you have is that it's very challenging because you don't have the network and stuff, and you don't have the ecosystem around you, and it's very lonely. So think of a playground. Reactor tries to be the playground for ideas, the place where there's not where you aren't lonely, you're not losing that disconnect, and you have a community around you, and you also have fun with working on your ideas. But the thing about when you're building a business versus as a child, you're at a playground is the stakes are a lot higher. Your own money is being invested into it, or you have investors who are putting money in it. So with the reactor, we try to help guide you through that process so the stakes are a lot lower. Well, not the stakes aren't lower, but you have guidance so that your chance of success are very high. So Reactor's goal is to help create that next unicorn, the next Amazon or Apple, and help you get there. But a huge, huge asset to us getting there is the city of Hampton, who's been critical for helping Reactor help these art companies and partnering with some of the companies in Reactor as they need it. So some of the things that Reactor offers is a location. So you can either have office space here or you can be a virtual member as well. But it puts you in that place of meeting other entrepreneurs and then having the hallway conversations, which is super powerful. And then we offer assistance with legal, sales, marketing, raising capital, and then a sounding board for your ideas. So as you have an idea, you get to bounce off of somebody who's also invested in your success. And then services is we try to drive value, and then we're more than just a discounted rent place. So then, and because I say that is you can leverage partnerships here, which are critical to your early success. And one of the major things that we offer is you get connected to the local ecosystem here. So one of them, to your local ecosystem here. The team is, of course, Tim Ryan, and then myself, and then Zach Miller. And so whenever you're a part of us, we try to leave our availability so that you can get connected and we can help you anytime that you need. So the companies that we're looking for, if you're thinking about being a part of Reactor, it's all technology focused. You need to be located in the city of Hampton, or well, at least have a business license there. And then we're always looking for NASA technology that you can transfer there and work with them. And then some of the categories would be autonomous, unmanned, sensors, and then advanced manufacturing and AI technology. And then so building reactors, I've kind of gone over the things that we do. And to build show that credibility of us is that some of our successes is we currently have 19 companies, which in total they have 132 staff, and we've helped them raise over $26 million. We have nine companies that are working with NASA technology, some of which is Psionic, who's raised over 20 million. And then you have Tidal Flight, who's raised 4.5 million, who recently graduated. And they both actually were 2025 Tech Night winners. So that's super exciting there. And so partnering with NASA is, we've talked about some of the companies that we help partner. Some of them is Agrea, Pancobia, JD First Line Threads, and then Psionic. And that ranges from First Line Threads, who's protective clothing, to Psionic, which is navigation in deep space. And so some of our connections is you start Peninsula down, and then you can move to get connected with Reactor. From Reactor, we help you get connected with accelerators, funding, and then with growth opportunities as you're going through your process. You can get connected with me. My email is josiah@reactor757.org. You can find us on LinkedIn, or you can find us on our website. And if you have any questions, please reach out. We'd be super excited to get you involved here.
Awesome. Thanks, Josiah. Well done for your inaugural presentation. One of the things that I really want to stress to everybody listening is the fact that Reactor is very much a yes and organization. So we connect you with a lot of the resources that you're hearing today and will hear from today. So it's not you have to participate with us and you can't participate with anyone else. We will help you get involved with the organization. So if you want to go to an incubator, we can prepare you to get you accepted into an incubator, and then you come back and continue to work with Reactor. Or how do you get prepared to be part of an accelerator program, and we'll help you do that. And then once you're done with the accelerator, then you have a home that you can participate in. So we're very much a yes and organization, and it's really been great to see some of the successes that we've had. And I guess from the time that we did the this presentation and prepared that, Josiah, Broombrick is another success story that we probably should add. So we did work with Broombrick, but they recently completed start a 757 startup studio. They started with Start Peninsula, went to Startup Studios. They went through Accelerate. They went through now successfully went through 757 Angels. They have run the whole gamut of resources that you're hearing from today, and continue to be successful. So that is, kudos to Broombrick and the entire team there. Anything else that we should add, Josiah?
Yeah, I think it was I think the big thing is just what you're saying, where you get to be here and get connected to the art resources, and you don't have to leave Reactor. You can, because that's, I think, the powerful thing of not being just an incubator, is that when you go to the R1s, you get to come back here and then connect to the rest.
Awesome. Well, Josiah, thank you so much for your time. And now that we're on the accelerator route, we are happy to turn this over to Brian Owens, who's man, we've been running the same circles for a while, but the B-Force Accelerator is something that is I love the community that they have built there. And Brian, I'm going to turn it over to you because you're the man, and I want to hear the latest, hear what's going on.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tim, for having us here today. My name is Brian Owens. I am Program Director at Black Brand, which is Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. Before I just jump into what we have to offer, I do want to just strengthen a through line that has been happening here. As Jerry said, you don't have to be from Virginia Beach to work with the Hive. Many of you know you don't have to be a woman to work with the Women's Business Center. You don't have to be a veteran to work with the Veterans Business Outreach Center. And in that same thing, you do not have to be Black to engage with the Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We exist as a part of this ecosystem to help entrepreneurs. So I run a program called B-Force Accelerator that is specifically for businesses that are above 2 years old, that are revenuing less than $2 million annual recurring revenue, and that are in the 757. We have a pretty specific target audience, but outside of that, we are industry agnostic. We take nonprofits, we take brick and mortars, online businesses, and even startups if you fit those requirements. B-Force Accelerator now is a 13-week program designed to prepare businesses to be able to access capital, whatever that means for you. Whether you are looking to access some support capital through a grant, whether you are looking at credit lines and loans, or whether you are looking for investment, our professionals can help position your business better for those things. By the way, if anyone wants to learn more about B-Force Accelerator or Black Brand, even while I'm talking, blackbrand.biz is the website. That's blackbrand.biz, not .com, .biz. So B-Force Accelerator, one of the things that excites me the most about B-Force Accelerator is the technical assistance aspect. Yes, we will provide you with the information and the education. Yes, we will provide you with the community of entrepreneurs that will help you build. But what really sets B-Force Accelerator apart is the hands-on technical assistance. You'll be able to sit down with a CPA and bring your financials, whatever condition they're in, even if it's a box of receipts, and you'll be able to work with our professionals to create all the documents that you'll need to access capital, like clean 2-year historical P&Ls, cash flow statements, balance sheet. But the technical assistance continues outside of finances. We have web developers here if you need to upgrade or create a website. You'll be connected with a strategic consultant to help you plan for the long term. We even have business attorneys here on staff who will review contracts, write contracts, create waivers. So yes, you'll get the mentorship. Yes, you'll get the consulting, but with B-Force Accelerator, you will also get that hands-on technical assistance where we will enable you to get to the next level. All of those resources in B-Force Accelerator work in conjunction to help position businesses to be able to access that capital. And then the last day of B-Force Accelerator is a speed dating event between our participants and the capital firms that they are looking for, so that we can humanize the capital process and make those direct connections, solving some of the problems that we continue to see in the ecosystem. Now, while I am proud to have been running B-Force Accelerator for the past 4 years and consider that my baby, B-Force Accelerator is not the only program that Black Brand offers. We offer programs for every step of the entrepreneurial journey. Even if you're still in the ideation phase, and you want to validate your idea, or you just want to be able to plan your idea out. If you're in the ideation phase and you've never done a break-even analysis, then we have Surge Community Business Academy that can help you validate your idea, help you see when your idea will start making profit and when you'll be able to live based on that business. We also have a program called Women Who Lead, which is our team up with NSU, where we are specifically targeting women in male dominated fields to help get them the resources and connection that they might not have been able to get alone by connecting them with a mentor. And most importantly, with the Women Who Lead program, it is designed to help those women in male dominated fields get their very first government contract, whether that be federal or local. Black Brand also has Impact Collective, which is an accelerator specifically targeting nonprofit organizations where they teach donor relationships, how to source a board, how to manage a board, and how to storytell with context, metrics, in a way that's going to impact your audience. Lastly, me personally, Brian Owens, I have made it one of my goals while living here in 757, which I love, to break down the silos that exist within the 757 ecosystem. Tim Ryan is a soldier in that exact same war. So I love events like this because one of the things that I love doing here is being a front door to the ecosystem, and to be able to facilitate people wherever they can get the most help. So if you meet someone and you're not sure how you can help them, where to send them, you can always send them right to me, and I have no problem playing point person for the 757 entrepreneurial ecosystem and getting your people right where they belong. If you want to talk to me more, once again, go to blackbrand.biz. I am very reachable in the 757, and for all the folks online here, I can even give my direct cell number, 757 782 7967. I have a background in small business capital access and in highly scalable technology. So ask me anything, and I will help you every time I can and facilitate you where you need to go if I can.
Brian, you're amazing. I appreciate you. Um, One question came in. Can you name three ideas in your accelerator that are the most profitable or perhaps the most successful?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I'm not going to answer that question directly because I don't believe it is the ideas that were profitable. I believe it was the execution and the effort that made these businesses profitable. And I can point out three folks that I would love to be able to highlight right now. Um, so, one, our entrepreneur of the year last year. Her name is Tia Henderson.
Oh,
She
yeah.
is, yeah, known as the Mushroom Lady.
Also a
Um,
Star Peninsula alumni.
yes, that's correct. Um, so Tia is a good example of a business that became profitable through B-Force Accelerator uh, because she is an example of how we address problems in the community. Tia could not get open up a business banking account because she deals with mushrooms, but reishi mushrooms, the healthy mushrooms. If you are scrolling on social media, the mushrooms that they're always trying to sell you in coffee. That's the type of mushroom she sells. But because it's the word mushroom, banks would not deal with her. They would turn her away constantly. Working with B Force Accelerator, we were able to get her multiple banking opportunities, allow her to really establish a financial growth plan and put her on the path to generating profit, generating revenue, being able to really grow. So super proud of Tia's story of growth. Another one, which is one that I mention regularly just because the unlikeliness of it, is Chastity of Emblem Olive Oil. She came into B Force Accelerator with a small olive oil business, and she was single minded and focused for one goal. She says, Brian, I want to know if there is room for olive oil in the world of government contracting. I was unsure because I had never heard of a government contract with olive oil. But one thing I do know is that the government doesn't make anything at all they do is buy stuff. So if there is a government entity out there using olive oil, then there is an opportunity. We connected her with both our federal contracting experts and our local municipality government contracting experts, as well as with some attorneys in B Force Accelerator. And she was able to secure a federal government contract with the USDA to supply native reservations with high quality olive oil. Um, she was able to secure a $1.3 million contract with the USDA. In order to be able to execute on that contract, she came back to us for some capital help. We were able to help her a little there, and she was able to execute on that contract so efficiently that they immediately ordered another $1.3 million contract with Emblem Olive Oil. So within a year of graduating B Force Accelerator, she was able to achieve $2.6 million in federal government contracts, whereas before she was just selling to hotels and a few local retailers. And the third one that I'm going to bring up is also because I think it was the execution and not the idea, and that is Chef Anthony Ote, also known as the Heroic Chef. When he came to us, he was part-time catering and part-time working in someone's restaurant. And his goal was to be able to fire his boss and become a full-time entrepreneur. Within within 4 months of graduating B-Force Accelerator because of the resources we gave him, but more importantly, just because of his grit, his energy, his inability to quit. Because he has that, not only was he able to fire his boss and become a full-time caterer, within 6 months from there, he was able to secure his first food trailer and expand his business by showing up to events. And 6 months after that, was able to secure his first food truck. And he still does all three of those business lines, still does catering, still does the trailer, still does the truck, and now he is looking to expand to get a second truck and a second chef to expand his empire beyond him, because as we all know, people are not, one person is not scalable. He understands that, and he is going to leverage capital to be able to scale his concept rather than scale himself. Now, I could talk about B-Force Accelerator highlights all day and take over this whole thing, but those are the three just off the top of my mind if people are asking about great examples.
Well, Brian, man, appreciate you. Love the stories. Keep rocking, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm here for anyone. Reach out to me in the chat. Email is brian.owens@blackbrand.biz. That's Brian with an I. We don't trust those Y's.
Awesome. Well, now that we're on the accelerator kick, we're going to kick things over to 757 Collab, part of which has an accelerator aspect to it. But Paul Nolde's been a partner in crime for a long time as well. And really appreciate you, Paul. And now I'll turn the floor over to you so we can hear about 757 Collab.
Yeah, well, thank you, Tim and Zach. And it's always tough following Brian because he's so articulate. And the nice thing is about this, Black Brand, Innovate Hampton Roads, Collab, and the Hampton Roads SBDC are all on a federal grant together. So we're all partners in crime. But as Tim said, I'm Paul Nolde. I run 757 Collab and 757 Angels. 757 Collab is a venture development hub located in downtown Norfolk in the Assembly Building. We actually operate a two-engine model where we focus on high-growth companies that are mostly aligned, although not exclusively, but mostly aligned to the verticals or the industries of defense, energy, aerospace, and logistics. But we cater toward Hampton Roads-based companies. Our first engine is really the day-to-day venture development work where we have a selective process to have companies come in and we work with them one-on-one in a bespoke manner, as well as leveraging a highly curated mentorship network that we are in the process of rebuilding that is kind of like the SWAT team to come in and help. So these are mentors plus subject matter experts in the various industries. And we do see typically companies that are post-ideation through that early angel seed stage. And the reason why we focus on that part of a company's growth is because there's so many great organizations doing the ideation work, even as well as you just heard from Brian, also work with later stage companies. But for our kind of lane, that's what we focus on. So it's less cohort driven on that engine, that side of the house. But on the other side of the house, the second engine is our acceleration. And so we have traditionally run a 757 accelerator that's been focused on capital readiness. We are in the kind of the midst of retooling that to align exclusively with those four industry verticals that I said before, the defense, aerospace, or defense, energy, aerospace, and logistics. And real quick, why those four? Those really map to the strengths of the region. And that's where we really can bring the most resources to bear to help the founder. But then we also have a defense technology accelerator. So as we look at our acceleration, it's really going to be industry aligned with a corporate partner. And as such, those will spin up and down according to the partners at, excuse me, at the table at that time versus having it, every month. Those are also selective and will be more across the state, pulling from companies across the state. One thing that I'll say about our first agent, kind of the day-to-day work that we do, that is focused exclusively on capital readiness. So the companies that we are working with, really, we want to get them to a point where when they come through CoLab, they will come out as best prepared as possible to raise additional capital to help them grow. And that obviously kind of flows into our 757 Angels Network, which is an affiliated angel investor network comprised of Hampton Roads investors. So we have a small but mighty team, and we certainly can't do it all alone. That's why we, again, as I said, we have these great partners with Innovate Hampton Roads, Black Brand, SBDC, and Neptune Shield, and others that really. The ecosystem in Hampton Roads is probably, I think, one of the more populated with really quality entrepreneurial support organizations than other regions I've been in. So I'll pause there and see if there's any questions, because I know a big piece of this too is just asking me questions. So I'm happy to answer any questions about what we do.
One question that popped in was, do you have support for medical products through your defense contractors or others?
That's a great question. What we've seen with defense is it's kind of like AI or cyber. I swear, defense spans across every seeming category. So the short answer is yes. There's probably a few more layers to that. We do a lot with med tech and health tech on the 757 Angel side. So we invest in a lot of med tech, med devices. As far as what we see coming through our Defense Technology Accelerator, didn't see any medical deals this last cohort. What we will likely see and what we will certainly work with is on the venture development side, the startup studio, 757 startup studios side. That's kind of our day-to-day programming. That's absolutely a company we would work with, especially because we are seeing a lot of dual use we work a lot with dual use companies flowing through for obvious reasons because of the regional assets. And I'll just real quickly, I kind of jumped over this, or kind of it got lost in my discussion. 757 CoLab is, I'd say, the umbrella organization for us, and we have different verticals, branded verticals underneath. You've heard me say 757 Startup Studios, which is really our day-to-day venture development side. We have 757 Accelerate, which I mentioned. We're in the process of retooling. And then 757 Defend, which is our defense-focused line of business. And under that, we have our 757 Defense Tech Accelerator.
Paul, I can't thank you enough for all that you are doing within the community. Let me see. Do you invite quickly. Do you invite defense contractors to discuss their needs? Where can we find meeting information on these topics?
Yes. So one of our strongest partners in the defense space is the Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge. Now, this used to fall under the Navy's innovation arm. They're still work with innovation within the Navy, but we rely on the Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge and those partnerships and their subject matter experts for that industry expertise. And then we obviously bring more of the innovation programming to surround that. So my suggestion would be, check out our website, but also feel free to contact me. My email is paul@757colab.org, paul@757colab.org, and I'll take care of you.
Awesome. Well, Paul, again, thank you so much. Appreciate all your support.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, we're going to continue on the track. And one of the organizations next up that we really is so beneficial to our region is the Virginia Innovation Partnership Corporation, or VIPC for short. And without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Meredith Hundley, she can talk to us about the different ways that that organizations are funded. So Meredith, take it away.
Sure. And I'm going to hope that my audio is working. There we go. All right. And
Yep.
I'm going to also attempt to share my screen. Share the right screen. All right. There we go. All right, so I am Dr. Meredith Hunley. I'm the Director of Grants and Research on the Entrepreneurial Ecosystems Division within VIPC. But I'm here primarily to talk about the work of our other divisions today, because that's the work that is likely to be beneficial to you all as startups and founders. We serve companies at a variety of stages of development. From the very earliest stages of ideation, often within a university or research institution setting, with our higher ed programs, proof of concept, providing support for entrepreneurs and residents, to when you're ready to commercialize something, whether that's coming out of a university with lab to launch, or whether you start in the garage and you're a community-based founder, in which case, I'll talk a little bit more in a minute about the launch grant program that may be most aligned with many of you at your stage of development. And then beyond that, we also are the state-funded and federally funded, actually, venture capital firm for Virginia. And so that's, we can do up to $1 million of equity investment for later stage companies. I mean, still earlier in the startup scheme, but further down the path. And so we are focused on economic development in Virginia. And so just wanted to kind of set the stage up front of what it means for us, for you to be a Virginia company. And that's that you need to be headquartered, or at least, have a primary business address in Virginia, where your administrative and strategic operations are based here, that you are duly registered to do business in Virginia with the State Corporation Commission, that 50% or more of your senior management and founder ownership is Virginia based, and that you have intentions in the longer term to stay in Virginia, that you're committed to your growth in Virginia. There's a side letter that comes along with our grants and our investments that say that you are intending to stay. Now, you can have your operations expand beyond Virginia. It's really about where you maintain your headquarters, that we're really focused on. You may open satellite offices elsewhere, but you need to be committed to Virginia, because we are about growing Virginia. We also are focused on technology and innovation, so we're not as appropriate of a source of support for kind of Main Street brick and mortar. But if you are in a technology industry, whether that's advanced manufacturing, cybersecurity, nuclear, life and health sciences, med device, all of those areas would be attractive to us. We have a fairly broad way of interpreting that. So, you're working on an app, that IT is kind of a very broad area, but we're really about providing support for the development of new technologies and bringing new technologies to the marketplace. So, funding opportunities that we have, as I mentioned, it spans from the earliest stages, where you're just starting to spin something out of a university with lab to launch. We actually have a grant program that can help you with those initial licensing fees that a university would charge. We have a fast track. We help to coordinate a fast track licensing agreement with R1 and R2 universities. And so that's up to 50,000. Our grant programs do require a match. That is a requirement from the state for us. Launch grant is a one-to-one match. And please, if you are in this kind of pre-MVP, MVP development, you're repeatable revenue, so you don't have solid sales, maybe you have some consulting, you have some one-off pilot money, that could still be appropriate. But you're at that pre-MVP stage. So I would imagine a lot of the Start Peninsula founders would be in this space. Our next application window closes next week. So vipc.org will take you to our website. Be sure to check that out. There's a lot of resources available, and that's the one I really wanted to highlight for you all. It does require a one-to-one match, but that match can be your time. It can be money in your bank account. You're looking at really scoping out what $100,000 is going to look like over the next 12 months, 50,000 of cash that would come from us. And then 50,000 of other resources that are available to you, whether that's bootstrapping, whether that's, sweat equity. We run that program on a quarterly basis. And so if you aren't able to get your application together in the next week to hit our deadline, there will be another opportunity. But you need to be pre-raising, coordinated funding. If you have already done some raise or you have an active round that's open right now, you may be a better fit for our Launch Note program, which is up to $150,000. That is a 2-to-1 match. And it's if you're at kind of the MVP stage, you've got some revenue in the door up to 200,000. Your round size is, up to 750,000. And then beyond that, we have our pre-seed and seed rounds, which, as I mentioned, can go up to $1 million. We do have the ability for some CPG, consumer product, packaged goods, through the federal funding that we have with what's called the State Small Business Credit Initiative, SSBCI. We have some funding that can be available to make equity investments in later stage, so beyond the grant piece of things. So that could be an option for some folks that are not on, they may be on a venturable trajectory, but they're not in the specific technology focus. So I wanted to highlight that. And then we do have twice a month, there's Virginia Venture Partners, which is our venture capital arm that also runs the Launch Grant program. They do coffees. Unfortunately, the most recent one was actually this morning. And they had an AMA about the upcoming Launch Grant application window. And so that should actually be available on the website soon, but past ones are also available to review. And so the next one after this will actually be coming up August 7th. And then, like I said, on a kind of every other week cadence from there. An additional fun support opportunity, which does come with some small dollars, is our federal funding assistance program. And this is support for folks who are pursuing SBIR, STTR, so Small Business Innovation Research, and tech transfer. And so this is the federal government's grant programs. We have the ability to help with up to $3,500 that can help you actually put together your proposal with a qualified consultant. And we also do workshops and things that are dedicated to helping you figure out that funding trajectory. If you're not on necessarily a venture trajectory, but you have future opportunities with the federal government where they're really looking for things, this can be a great opportunity for folks that doesn't involve giving up any of your equity. Here are some of the upcoming opportunities for that. So there's one focused on DoD coming up on September 2nd, NIH September 16th, actually another NIH, and so that one will be virtual. That'll be a web series, and then in person, there'll be one in Arlington in October. And I think that Rob Brook, whose contact information is on here, he's a really great resource. He's also looking at possibly doing some sessions maybe next spring in Hampton Roads. So his calendar books out pretty far, but that's where he's looking right now. So again, vipc.org, pretty fast, pretty short, easy to remember. And it has a wealth of resources. We also coordinate the Virginia Accelerator Network, so there's links to a lot of the other accelerators and incubators in the state, including our friends at Innovate Hampton Roads and our friends at 757 Collab are part of that network. And yeah, I'll stop sharing there and see if there are any questions. I tried to fly through to help. There was just a lot to cover.
One question is, do folks have to participate with grant writing contractors chosen by VIPC?
I don't believe so. I think that there are lists of folks that have been identified. That would be a great question to send to Rob, though, to make sure that I don't lead you astray, since that's not a program that I manage specifically. But
Gotcha.
He's got a pretty broad list of folks who he's been doing this work for like 22 years now. So if they are in Virginia or beyond even maybe, and doing SBIR proposal writing. He likely knows them.
Okay. Then quickly, what what is VIP's point? How do you deal with crypto, and can crypto be considered a matching collateral?
Um, I am
I've never heard of that question before, so
yeah, so that's
I really don't know.
my initial response was blinking. Crypto as collateral, I mean, you need to be able to demonstrate that you're going to spend cash. And so if it's crypto, you would need to, I mean, you're going to have to show that you spent the money. So however that would end up being done,
Yeah.
that would also be an excellent question for Jen O'Daniel, who runs the launch grant program. So
Perfect.
we have a variety of team members who focus on the different program areas. I'm usually dealing with Tim and with Paul, and because I do the Regional Innovation Fund grant program that provides support for the ESOs. So I would not want to speak out of turn on
Awesome.
whether or not we would accept crypto. But yes, definitely first question or
Yep.
first time for the question.
Well, Meredith, I can't thank you enough for your support, and certainly on behalf of all the founders. BIPC has helped out so many people, and it's what a great organization. Can't thank you all enough for your support.
We are happy to do it.
Awesome. Well, if only there was a place to connect and convene with people during your business journey, I believe that there might be. That might be the Virginia Peninsula Chamber with Bob McKenna, and Bob is going to share with us about all the benefits of being connected with the chamber. So, Bob, without further ado,
hey Tim, can you
the
see me?
floor is yours. I don't see you,
I'm in the
but I
dark.
hear you. Yeah.
Let me see why my camera's not working. It might be better that way. Let me check one more time here. All right. I don't know why I'm not showing up.
No, we'll just roll with it.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bob McKenna. I'm President and CEO of the Virginia Peninsula Chamber, and we're located in Newport News, but we serve businesses in Newport News, Hampton, York County, Poquoson, a little bit in James City County. We have a few from Williamsburg and a few from the south side of Hampton Roads. I've been here for 8 years now, and I come from a military background. And I'm still learning how to do my job 8 years in, but I think I keep getting better every year, which is the goal, continual improvement. So at the Virginia Peninsula Chamber, our mission is, so let me state it the way I state it and then read it from our mission statement. So I say that we are a collaborative partner with many partners in the community to help create the conditions conducive to economic growth and for the business growth of all of our members. We have about 850 members now, and they range from small home-based businesses with a single employee, all the way up to the largest industrial employer in the state of Virginia, and the only place in the world that builds nuclear aircraft carriers. So with I have a 4-person full-time staff, 2 part-timers, and a government relations consultant. So that's a challenge to bring value to members across a very wide spectrum. The way we do that is we've determined that we have 3 main lines of effort. And our lines of effort are leadership development, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Collaboration, regional collaboration, and I'll talk about that later also. And then business advocacy. And business advocacy takes many forms. So we do monthly seminars, and we do 2 every month that are scheduled, and then we do pop-up seminars also on topics like yesterday we did one on trying to reason with hurricane season. So helping businesses become more resilient as we move deeper and deeper into the hurricane season. This is when we all start getting nervous, September, October, November timeframe. So that was a pop-up. But But every month we do 2 business seminars, and they're open to the public for a small fee, but all of our members can come for free. We also work with local government, state government, and federal government to help create or to help ensure that we have laws and regulations that are business friendly. It doesn't always work, but we're always here to try to make it work. And we work very hard at that. And that's why we hired a government relations consultant a few years ago to work with us on that. We also, as far as business advocacy does, we're the connector. And I'm going to go through the 5 C's in just a second, but we're here to make introductions. We're here to introduce you to other people who will buy your services or buy your products, or that you can partner with to create more mission success in your business. So I go back to leadership development. So leadership development, we are the Peninsula's business community's great resource to train your workers, to make them better leaders, to make them better connectors. So we have 3 different products now. One is called Lead Peninsula. That's been around for 43 years now. And every event that I go to, I ask the Lead Peninsula graduates to stand up. So it's a very wide network of people from all different walks of the business world, and civic world, and the military. So that's a civic immersion class that goes 11 months, starts every August, wraps up with a couple of events in June. We have 50 participants each year, and it's kind of an adult field trip program. So we go to places, speak to the leaders, speak to them about their challenges, take tours of their business and what they're doing, their organization, what they're doing on the peninsula, for the peninsula. And so it's a behind the scenes look at what makes our economy work and what makes the peninsula work. So for instance, we have Federal Impact Day, which is focused on the military. We have a health and welfare day. We have a advanced manufacturing day. We have a transportation day. We have a workforce development and education day. So 11 different program days. You learn a lot. You build a great network. It's a great place for people starting a business to just expand their network in a very rapid manner and their knowledge of the peninsula. We also have an advanced leadership development program, which is a partnership with Christopher Newport University, and that is purely advanced leadership development. So CNU professors from the leadership studies program and from the business school teach the theoretical side of it, and then I bring in leaders from the corporate world to teach the practical side of whatever topic is the topic of the month. So that's in its 2nd year, and we're accepting applications for the 3rd year right now. That's 30 students each year, and then they graduate with a digital certificate that you can use on LinkedIn or whatever. But it's a very getting great reviews in the 2nd year, and it's getting better all the time. We just started a Lead for Interns program this year, which is focused on students from various universities and various companies who come to the peninsula during the summer to be interns. And we're just kind of showing them the great assets of the peninsula in the hopes that when they graduate, they will decide to make this their home and make a career and a life here. So that's our leadership development programs. We are a regional collaborator, and what I mean by that is we represent the peninsula business community on regional initiatives, whether they are childcare initiatives or affordable housing initiatives or highway and infrastructure initiatives like the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel expansion project. We have a seat at the table and represent the peninsula business community on those important initiatives. Now I'm going to talk about the 5 C's, and the 5 C's are, I came up with this idea sitting drinking some bourbon in my comfy blue chair in my great room at home, because my board said, what unique value does the Peninsula Chamber bring? What do we do that nobody else does on the peninsula? And that's what Tim was alluding to in his introduction. So the 5 C's, we are a connector. So every one of our events, and we do 125 events per year, every one of them is designed to connect you with people that you need to know. to sell your products, to sell your services, and to do business with, and to do partnerships with. So that's our principal role. I think we are the connector. We know all the organizations that have talked to you today. We have connections with all of them, so we can point you in the right direction if you're looking for help in starting or growing or thriving. We are a convener. So what I mean by convener is the chamber becomes in a very stovepiped world. And I think Hampton Roads is not so stovepipe anymore. I think we collaborate very well. But for certain initiatives, there are many different organizations working to find solutions to difficult problems. So we become the trusted agent. We bring all these organizations together to discuss potential solutions to the issues that vex us. So we're a connector and a convener, a collaborator. I've already talked about that a little bit, but let me just say a little bit more about that. With a staff of 4 full-timers, and 125 events a year, and that doesn't even include some of the programs that we're running. We have to have great partners, so we have to collaborate, and we're very willing to, give credit where credit is due. It's not important for us to get credit. It's important for us to perform our mission and to bring value to our members. The fourth C is we're a conduit. And what I mean by that is we are a source of information. We provide information to our members on issues that are critical to their success. So we have a monthly newsletter, goes out at the beginning of every month, and most of our events are designed to put forth information that's important for our members. For instance, we have coming up in August and September, we have a series called the Legislative Roundtable Series, and we talk about issues that are important to the business community, and we invite members to come in and sit around not a literal roundtable, but a roundtable of sorts to discuss what issues are causing them problems in conducting business. So we'll do one on the nonprofit community. We'll do one on AI and technology. We'll do one on the DEAL framework, which is the Hampton Roads Alliance program designed to spur economic growth by focusing on the industries that we're strong in. So that's defense, energy, aerospace, and logistics. So we'll have one of our roundtables just to focus on that, and then we'll have other topics too. So we'll do 5 of those. Last year we did 6, so we'll probably add one more in October for that. But you're welcome to attend those. Last but not least, we are a champion of our members and a champion of the great assets on the peninsula. So when I first arrived as president and CEO of the Peninsula Chamber, people would say to me fairly frequently, kind of downplaying the importance of the chamber in my role in the peninsula, well, we're just the peninsula. And I said, I don't like the word just because it's limiting. We are the mighty peninsula. And the peninsula has, as I mentioned before, the largest industrial employer in the state, and the only place in the world that builds nuclear aircraft carriers. We have a Department of Energy lab that will very soon have a high-performance data facility that rivals any in the world. And we have NASA Langley Research Center, among other things. We have all branches of the military with 4 installations. We have 3 universities. We have a great community college. So we have so many great assets, and I like to introduce everybody to those great assets because I think it's important to know what's available where you live, and it's also important to have pride in your community, and I think we certainly do here, and we have many reasons to be proud. So that's my quick story in a nutshell. Did I take up enough time or too much time, Tim?
You're the longest thus far, but perhaps the most informative.
So my contact information is bob.mckenna@vpcc.org, and our website is, just Google it. I don't know what the website name is, but just Google it, and you'll see we have a great amount of resources, not all of which I have covered, but we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to help you out.
Well, thank you so much, Bob. Yep, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And we're going to add an unofficial 6th C on with our next presenter which is celebrate. Everyone should be working to get to the big stage to celebrate your accomplishments with the Virginia Cup. Zach Miller, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, sir. On September 17th, we're going to pack the Sandler Center in Virginia Beach with more than 1,000 people to see some of the best companies being built across Virginia. And one of those companies will leave as Virginia Cup champion and earn the opportunity to compete for $1 million investment in San Francisco. But the bigger story here is what happens beyond that night. Since 2024, Virginia founders who have taken the Virginia Cup stage have gone on to raise more than $50 million. They found investors, they've met customers, they've made introductions and built relationships that continued long after they left the stage. And you don't have to be pitching to benefit from being in the room. You might meet your next customer, your next investment, your next employer, your next partner, or you might discover a company being built right here in Virginia. And you're going to hear a lot about them for years and years ahead. But that's what Virginia Cup is really about. It's about putting great companies in front of people who can help them grow and putting more than 1,000 people in a room where opportunity can happen. September 17th, Sandler Center, Virginia Beach. Come see what Virginia is building. Applications close next Friday to be one of the top 10 companies on stage. Tickets are now on sale to attend, and you can use the QR code that you see on screen to find the link, or go to innovate757.org/VACUP. That's slash VA, like VACUP. Hope to see you there. They say the third year is the best year.
That's right.
Are you excited, Tim? Are you excited? Are you excited?
Look,
that's me. Look, that's me. Me. I don't know where you are.
I am.
You're coming up.
I am excited. Well, the thing that was really cool is how many of these companies were Start Peninsula alumni that we have shown that were on here. So this is the one of the many stops that everyone that has a startup should seek to get some stage time and be one of those top 10. So really, it's gonna be great. Look, there's me.
It took you
so
off.
This is.
I apologize. I didn't do that timing on purpose.
Great. Well, thank you, Zach. I look forward to sharing the stage with you on September 17th with the Virginia Cup. It's going to be great. I hope you all have a better appreciation for the ecosystem that we have across Hampton Roads. This was just 13 resources that you have. Not everybody, unfortunately, was included, but when you participate in Start Peninsula, when you connect with Innovate Hampton Roads, we can connect you with everyone that you need to connect with. I appreciate everyone's time. If you're thinking about pitching, please pitch. And I can't thank you all enough to all our panelists that shared information about the resources they provide. Thank you all. I look forward to seeing you on September 17th at the Virginia Cup. Thank you all, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will talk soon. So long.